This segment of the news is brought to you by Finance of America. For all your mortgage needs, call Amy Childress or Shannon Keller at 702-372-6607.
Welcome back to News 46. Patients who need a heart valve replacement but are too ill for major surgery sometimes undergo a less invasive procedure that uses a catheter to replace their damaged valve. As a complication of the procedure, up to 10% of those patients experience a stroke. A new study looked at whether or not a filter device inserted into the blood vessels can help protect the brain from stroke by removing debris that is dislodged during the procedure.
This health tip is brought to you by
Desert View Hospital and Mountain Valley Physicians Group. Don't put your health on hold. We have time for you. Call us to schedule your appointment. 775-751-7100.
A procedure is underway to replace this patient's diseased heart valve. It's called transcatheter aortic valve implantation, or TAVI. Instead of open heart surgery, doctors use a catheter to implant a new valve inside the old one. During this process, tissue and plaque in the blood vessels can become loose, traveling through the bloodstream to the brain.
Because of the material, you have neurologic injuries and like little strokes or little cerebral infarcts.
A cerebral protection device is a type of filter that is placed by catheter directly into the vessels that supply the brain.
By using the filter, we are trying to capture this material and protect the brain. The device is designed to save brain tissue that would otherwise be killed by particles that occlude little vessels that supply the brain with blood and oxygen.
Dr. Axel Linke from the University of Leipzig Heart Center in Germany and co-authors studied 100 patients with an average age of 80 who underwent the TAVI procedure. Half the patients received the filter device, the other half did not. They also underwent an MRI of the brain before and again at 2 and 7 days after the procedure.
By using the filter device, the number of lesions in the brain was reduced by 50% and the volume was reduced by 50% as well. You're reducing the number of lesions, which means the number of holes in the brain, and you're reducing the amount of dead tissue in the brain. You have more functional neurons and more alive brain tissue present than as compared to somebody without embolic protection.
Catherine Dolf, The JAMA Report.
Larger studies are needed to prove whether this device can also result in better neurological and cognitive outcomes in patients.
Well, the Nye County Sheriff's Office has received 3 new Kawasaki Mule off-highway vehicles. The Nye County Sheriff's Office applied for a grant from the state of Nevada and was given the 3 off-highway vehicles as well as money for training and OHV law enforcement. The Nye County Sheriff's Office will utilize these off-highway vehicles primarily to conduct specialized enforcement on off-highway vehicles in Nye County, as well as search and rescue operations and special events. One of these Kawasaki mules will be sent to the Tonopah substation, another to Beatty, and the third will remain here in Pahrump. Utilizing the off-highway vehicles and specially trained deputies, Sheriff Worley hopes to make off-highway vehicle use in Nye County safer and ensure that all off-highway vehicle operators are complying with state of Nevada OHV laws.
The Board of County Commissioners discussed on their agenda a residence on Dyer Street that has been deemed a nuisance.
There's a possible action discussing deliberation regarding the status and progress of an abatement of a nuisance located at 1141 Dyer Road.
In a residential situation like this, people have the ability to live how they choose. My goal and my objective was to make sure that they were aware to create all that reasonableness as far as how they decide that they're going to occupy that structure. That if there was a problem, even including a medical event, doesn't even have to be fire, that we would have great difficulties affecting such rescues and suppression.
Regardless of the inspection by the planning department, there's still a large stack of tires, 3 RVs, a motorhome, a semi-trailer, and the back of that property. They have farm animals penned up there, and there's untold amounts of personal belongings in the front yard and the back. They made a path in among their personal belongings. There's junk car recliners and too much other stuff to mention in the front.
All we ask from anyone, the neighbors, the commission, whoever might be able to specify exactly what needs to be done so we do not have to keep coming back here. as long as there's an understanding of what is expected of Ms. Hare and Mr. Rollins, there's not going to be an issue. They have complied to the best of their understanding. So, and that's, past that, I would just like to say I apologize. I do not even know what happened to our society when our natural rights endowed to us as human beings meant that instead of dealing with issues amongst ourselves the way we're supposed to and then taking it somewhere else if we need to, that our first regress is the government.
A motion to find that the public nuisance is abated and the gate is to be closed. That was what you said.
Kind of what I repeated again. I know.
That's it.
Okay. And I have a motion and a second against that. Can I call for the vote?
Supposed to.
Let's clarify the vote.
May I?
Let's clarify the vote.
Vote again. Aye.
Aye.
Okay, aye. And Donna?
Nay.
Nay. So that's 4-1. And then we want to move forward.
So it moves on to zoning now, and you still have to clean the yard in accordance with whatever zoning requires.
Mr. Lacey, obviously we need to get together with the folks. I would hope that all the folks that live in that neighborhood can get together with everybody and work this problem out as much as they can.
And when we return, another item is discussed by the Board of County Commissioners.